Welcome back to GeekSmart. Here we are to do a full setup tutorial on the new second generation Eero. Now this is the Eero whole home Wi-Fi second generation with one of their main ones as well as two of their beacons. They do offer what they call the Eero Pro setup, which has three of the main Eero units. That's kind of their high-end system, which you can wire or do wireless. With the beacons, this is going to be a wireless setup. So no matter what, the connection between the three of these is a wireless thing. There is no shared Ethernet ports on the beacons. The beacons are designed to go on the wall and kind of blend in and be there just to basically push the signal out. So we're going to do a full setup on this guy today. In the box, and if you're interested to see more detail about this, definitely check out my review video. When I have that, I will post a link down below. So let's put a card on this guy. That's when I actually have some more hands-on use with the actual product itself. But that said, so here we have one of the main Eero routers and then two of the beacons, like I said. If you've seen the original Eero, this is the second generation, which they made some slight improvements on, and definitely speed improvements on. They are definitely a little heavier than I remember of the original Eero as well. But two Ethernet ports on the back, just the standard push button there, and then the power port, which is going to be a USB-C connection on the main Eero one. They do give you a Ethernet cable to connect it to your modem, and in here as well, they should have, there it is, the power cable to power it. These are, ones that you actually would set on a shelf or on whatever. This is going to be like a standard router. The beacons, however, are plug-in things. They actually operate independently. All they have is a single button on them, and you'll see what that's used for here shortly. They do have a light on the bottom, which you can actually use kind of as a night light, things like that. That's what I understand. And obviously, we'll find out more about that. But that's what we have two of those. So no additional cables needed on this one. Downside of that is that they don't have a shared Ethernet port that you can obviously plug a device into. Everything's going to be running on Wi-Fi on these guys. So those people that have, and this is probably going to pertain to most people out there that are looking for that whole home system, Wi-Fi is probably what you're looking for anyway. So this system is going to go with you. If you're looking for something for hardwired ports that you can actually share Ethernet ports to kind of throughout, even if the wireless between the devices, definitely look at the Pro system. Basically, setup's going to be very similar, except for that you can wire things too. So that said, we're going to go ahead and get up by the modem and start by setting up the primary router. In this case, the main Eero. With that, we'll need the Eero itself, the power cable, and if you don't already have a quality or a nice Ethernet cable up at your modem, they do supply one in here. So let's go ahead and get up there. While that's powering up as well, you're probably going to want to download the Eero app to your device, smartphone or tablet, because everything is going to be set up through an app. So you make sure you have a smart device with you, Android or iPhone, it doesn't matter. Just download the Eero app, E-E-R-O, just like it shows, and we'll go from there. Okay, so here's where I'm going to actually place my main router. I have my Ethernet cable here that's actually coming from my modem. And then I also have another Ethernet connection here that actually goes down to I have a 16-port gigabit switch that everything that I have wired will go through, because this only has two ports on the back. One that's going to go to the modem and one that's going to be the shared one to my devices. So I'm going to go ahead and just set that up here. And then I'm going to get my power cable. I have a extension cable up here actually that's going to my my battery backup surge protection system. And I'll worry about the cords later. But we're going to go ahead and get these connected. So this is going to be actually directly to the modem. So I'm going to plug that in on one. There we go. And I'll plug the Ethernet cable in on the other. Now I'm actually going to go ahead and start the powering the modem up. That's one thing that you'll definitely want to do is unplug your modem from power for a good 30 seconds at least. And I've had it actually unplugged for a couple minutes now. So I'm going to go ahead and get that started booting up. And then I'm going to actually go ahead and plug in the power to the Eero system. And you'll see the light actually came on there. So that's going to start doing its thing. Once it's ready, it should stop the pulsating here. And of course, I'm probably also going to wait for the modem to get its full connection as well, because we're going to need the internet for it to do the full setup. So from here, we're going to go ahead and download the app, and we'll go from there. So my modem is all set. All the lights are good. And then on the Eero, we have a pulsating blue light now rather than a pulsating white light. So we should be good to fully set up now. Okay, so all I did was download the Eero app, and here we have after I started the app, it just says, welcome to Eero, create an account or log in. I already actually have an Eero account from my previous one, so I'll probably just log in with that. Otherwise, under create an account, what most people will do, full email, full name, mobile phone, email address, click next, or you can, like it says, you can log into an existing account. So I'm going to go ahead and hit log in myself, and it's just going to be my email address or mobile number, and go from there. So I'm going to go ahead and actually do that real quick, and go from there. So once I put in my phone number, it texted me a number in the verification code. I put that in there, and it said, boom, here we go. So this is where we're at. Buy Eero or get started. I already have the Eero, obviously, so we're going to hit get started. Here's what we need to set up, which basically everything came with it aside from the modem itself. We're going to go ahead and get started. Unplug the modem, which we already did. Connect Eero to modem, we already did that. Plug the modem and Eero into power, which we already did. So we're going to hit next. Waking up your Eero. So now it's probably on its way to try to find it. Yep, there we go, looking for your Eero. Eero detected. Fantastic. Next. Where is my Eero located? Well, technically, it's in my office. There it is. And we're going to create a network name. Now, I just use my last name. Password. I'm going to go ahead and enter my password. I went ahead and just clicked create network, and now it's setting everything up for me. Now, in the past, like I said, I've done the Eero setup on the first generation, and every other whole Wi-Fi system I've done since. With maybe one other one that I actually did enjoy the setup on. The Eero is one of the easiest, if not the easiest, system to fully set up itself. That's what I've always found out. I think their app experience is fantastic, and I think that's kind of shows here how easy this is. Just point, click, boom, boom. Nothing too fancy you're creating. Add another Eero device. Yes, we are. We're going to go ahead and add an Eero beacon. We'll click that. Help us understand your home. So, shape. Mine's more long than it is square. I actually have 2 floors. I have the basement and the main floor, so I have 2 floors. Place your Eero centrally as low as possible. What I'm going to actually do is kind of pigtail them, right? So one is currently down here, my next one's going to be in line, and then the third one's going to be in line from that. And this is just a tip. Next tip, let's see what they say. In the open, yes, we definitely want them in the open. It's going to give a better Wi-Fi experience. Away from large electronics. Obviously makes sense. You have any kind of blockage or signals that can actually disturb the signals that are actually coming from your Eero. Good. Nightlight Eero for beacon. So when enabled, nightlight will automatically turn on and off depending on the brightness of your room. Once the beacon is set up, you'll be able to adjust these settings in the app. Fantastic. Can't wait to actually see that. Plug in the Eero beacon. All right. So we're going to actually go up and find a location to plug it in, and then we'll continue. So here we are in my hallway upstairs. The main Eero router is probably a good, linear distance, 20-30 feet away from this location here, and down 1 floor. And we're going to go ahead and just plug this right into the wall. By plugging it in, just plugging in, not telling you anything, the white pulsating light's going to come up there. So it's telling me that it's booting up and getting ready. Assuming that's going to go to blue pulsating when it's actually ready. So we'll come back to that, and then we'll go back to the app. And just like I said, to blue pulsating, which means we are ready to set this guy up. So let's head back to the app. Okay, so we're ready to plug in the beacon, so we'll hit next. Of course, we got a Pinterest thing going on here. Ah, come on. Sorry about that, guys. Eero beacon is detected. Let's run a placement test. So obviously it's communicating with the main Eero to see if we actually placed it in a decent location. And if not, then we will have to change locations. I'm assuming that it should be good based on the location, but we'll find out real quick. Right? My house is not the best with Wi-Fi. Good connection. Fantastic. Let's keep that placement then. So that's in the hallway. Set that up for where it's going. It's going to storm, my wife says. Sorry about that, guys. You never know what's going to happen when you're actually getting everything set up, right? So it does its thing. Normally I like to fast forward, but the Eeros tend to be fairly fast setup. So success, the beacon is set up. Hit next. Add another one. We're going to add the third Eero beacon. So we're going to hit add Eero beacon. And I'm going to go plug it in, do the exact same setup in a different location. Now you get to see how old my house is. 70s. I have replaced some of the wall plates. I got to get more wall plates. But this is an old crappy wall plate here in technically my dining room. but I don't really use it as a dining room. So plug that in, white light comes up, starts blinking, and we're going to wait for it to go blue again. Once it goes blue, we're going to go directly to the app. So I'm not going to show the blue bling light again. We're just going to go directly back to the app. Okay, so we're back, have it all plugged in. The light is now blinking blue. We'll hit setup, and we'll see if we can't locate the beacon. It's detected. Now let's run a placement test. See if I actually have it in a good or a bad location. We'll find out, I guess, soon enough, don't we? It's about, I would say about 20-25 feet away from the first beacon that I set up. When that first beacon is about 25-30 feet away from the main Eero, all in place. Placed it like a pro. Fantastic. That one, like I said, is what I call my dining room. I guess it's technically the dining room that we don't dine in. So now it's setting it up, so it's all connected to the same item. And as we go, I gotta hand it to Eero for the how they, everything sets up just nice and fast, simple. If you run into a problem, just go back and then restart again. And nope, I'm all set. One more thing needs to be updated. Absolutely update that. So now I'm going to go ahead and let it do that. It's going to obviously update, and that may take several minutes because that's just based on it going to each router itself, and then updating them with software, which downloading them takes a while, and then they have to restart. So we'll let it do its update. Okay, well that definitely took several minutes. Obviously I have 3 items that are updating, so it did its download, then it installed it, then it restarted the network, and then we get to the success. Your network is up to date. Just give it time. Don't mess with anything. If it takes 10 minutes, it takes 10 minutes. Just let it do what it's done, and then when it's done, it's done. So now I have, you can see the office, where's the main route, as the main Eero, and then I have the hallway and dining room as my beacon Eeros, and that's my secondary wireless repeaters or wireless extenders. You can actually see devices actually coming online. We went from 7 to 12 just in the last couple seconds, or 30 seconds. So more of my devices will probably connect over time as they reconnect to the main modem. And we can always check to see what the internet status is. Right now it's saying that I have 95 megabit down, 31 up, which that's probably going to go up over time as well. All dependent on what's going on with my internet, but I pay for about $150, and that's typically 95 is good, but not great, and I usually get a lot faster than that. But we'll give that time. Let's see if I actually click on that. Let's run a speed test again. Let's see what actually happens. Running will only take a moment. We'll do that. Let it take its moment and see what it comes up at. But this, it's saying it's online. It's green there. Everything should be good there. And we'll give it a second here. 166.28. That's more like what I pay for, right? I pay for 150, like I said, and 25 up, I think. So those are fantastic numbers. So it'll be good. It should be good to set go. So that's the setup. I do want to showcase real quick the night light mode on the guy here. So if I get light down, the light pops on. If it brightens back up in the room, once it receives that, then the light dims down. This can all be adjusted from within the app itself. So in the end, I hope it showed, but if there is one product company that makes a wireless whole home system that is not only powerful, but extremely easy to set up, I have to give it to Eero, because the first generation was a blessing to have, to try out, to show you guys. The second generation for setup was just as easy as the first generation was. Obviously, they made some improvements on the designs in terms of its capability and its speed, and they definitely made some improvements on options for you. You don't have to have 3 of the high-powered Eeros if you don't need them. This is obviously a set for probably most people out there that are looking to fill their home with Wi-Fi. If you're looking for that Ethernet ports as well, definitely get the Pro system with 3 of the main ones. And of course the price will go up accordingly because of that. About $100 difference between this, which retails at $399, to the Pro system with 3 of these guys for, I think, $499. Of course, that's barring any sales. I am going to post links to multiples of systems below us. To the main unit with a beacon, the main unit with the 2 beacons, and then also the Pro system with all 3 of the main guys. All of them, if you do purchase through those links, you are supporting my channel, and I want to say thank you very, very much. But that said, guys, please post any comments or questions you have below. Please share and subscribe. The more subscribers and more shares we get, the more, obviously, the more people see this video and setup. So I want to say thank you to everybody that's actually come in and watched this. I want to say thank you to Eero to sending this over to me to show you guys how easy it is to really set this thing up. I did not set this up once and then redo the setup like I typically do, like I like to do. I decided to film this setup right after I cracked it out open. So while I did have experience with the first generation, there we are for the second generation. Now set up with any of the lights or anything like that with this and that, that's going to actually be within my review when we actually talk about the differences of the difference between the two units and how we can actually do things within the app for other purposes. That'll be in the actual full review. That's going to be on my TechGooch channel. Definitely check out that channel. But if nothing else, I will post a link to that video once it becomes out there. Now, I usually wait a couple weeks for testing purposes. I've had the Eeros before, so I'm probably not going to wait 2 weeks or so. It's probably going to be shorter than that. But keep an eye out for that review video. Thanks again for watching, guys, and we'll catch you on a future video. See you soon.